What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be squeezing through old abandoned secret tunnels that go for miles here in America, and I'm going to be taking you with me, sharing some history and getting real uncomfortable here in these wet, dark, spooky tunnels. So hopefully if you like old forgotten history, you're going to like this one. So come with me as we explore some old America today. Get to where we're going, we're gonna have to do a little bit of off-roading here, like I'm doing currently, until we get to this active railroad track. And we're gonna be going through this giant tunnel. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Whoa. So I'm currently off-roading on a gravel trail, and we're gonna be heading into a giant railroad tunnel, and that'll be our first landmark to know we're going the right direction here. On the banks of the beautiful Susquehanna River here. Hello everyone, welcome back to a new adventure. Today we're in America, like always, and I'm on the banks of the Susquehanna River, one of the largest rivers in America. And what this large river holds beside it is one of the most interesting abandoned things left in this entire country. The tunnels we're going to were built over 115 years ago, specifically in 1902. When America was being connected via railway, they had to make adjustments, and one was here in the Susquehanna Valley, and they needed to build another railroad to relieve the stress given to the Harrisburg and Philadelphia line. So they built the Atglin and Susquehanna Railroad, and while building that railroad, they realized they needed to let certain amounts of water flow from the tops of these ridges into the Susquehanna River, or they were going to have an environmental disaster. In 1902, they built a series of underground tunnels so the water would be able to flow perfectly from atop the mountains to the river without causing any sort of environmental disaster. And that line was abandoned in 1988. And since then, these tunnels have been sitting here abandoned, just old craftsmanship that you will never see again here in America. And today I'm going to be giving you guys the tour through those old tunnels. I hear some speedboats on the river, and I do believe this is our stop here. Very unassuming over here. If you look over here in the distance, you could see the remnants of a tiny trail. We're gonna follow this trail for about a quarter mile into the woods. And after a quarter-mile walk in the woods, we are greeted with a creek and our first view of one of the many tunnel systems we're going to be entering today. And I could feel the very cold air hitting me on this summer day. The air that's coming out of these tunnels. This is the longest tunnel we're going to be exploring today, and it is the tightest fit. I'm going to have to crawl into this tunnel to get inside. So I'm going to get my gear out, my flashlight, and we're going to be going in there today. And if you could see it, there is a creek. A little bit of water flowing here today. It's been a little bit of a drought recently, no rain. I planned that on purpose. I definitely do not want to be inside of a tunnel while rainwater is flowing through it. But these tunnels were created so the very tops of these hills, the water could flow down successfully and go underneath the train tracks. That way no derailments would happen. But I must say, saying a little bit about derailments, towards the end of this video, we're going to be seeing a train wreck that actually did happen on this very same line. This is a very jam-packed video, and I'm excited to bring you guys along, and I'm going to prepare myself to get inside this tunnel and show you guys what it looks like inside. And today I have this flashlight. This is a 100,000 lumen flashlight. And if you guys want to know what brand this is, just leave a comment. I'll reply to your comments. And this is going to help us be able to see today. But without further ado, let's go inside. The tunnel's opening up pretty fast now. So as you can see, this tunnel is pretty flooded. I'm going to have to watch my step in here. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Ooh, I could finally stand. You have running water in here. That's just going right into the mountain. It's flowing right into here. This entire tunnel made of stone and brick. You could just see the age everywhere in here. So as you guys can see, the tunnel got a little bit bigger. I'm just about 6 feet tall. So the tunnel is about 7.5, 8 feet. And it gets even bigger over here. I brought out my big flashlight so we could see to the best of our ability inside this dark tunnel. Yeah, this goes on forever. Can't even see the end of this. And this looks like just to be almost like a sewer system for the water. That way the railroad would have no water erosion on it. And this was built over 100+ years ago, between 1902 and 1906. This was constructed so the railroad would have smooth sailing for the years that it was in service. But like I said earlier, there was a major tragedy that happened on this very railway over 50 years ago, a chemical spill and a train wreck. And we're going to be exploring the ruins of that as well. I'm just getting my bearings here in this tunnel. I have to admit, this is my second time filming this video, at least trying. The first time I came here, I slipped and I injured myself pretty badly. So I'm back with a vengeance to properly document this tunnel system here. And this is only one of 4 tunnels we're going to be inside today. This is the most narrow tunnel, and to me, I think it's the coolest. But it feels good in here, actually. Here you could see a giant piece of the tunnel missing, and you could see a lot of water flowing. And this is all erosion, just chipping away at this concrete, so we're gonna carefully step here. Because last time I was in this tunnel, I fell, I slipped on some rock, my light fell off, the light went dark, and I started to bleed. And I'm back here again to document this. These tunnels could be very dangerous to those who are inexperienced, so definitely don't want to play around with this history, especially in areas where you have no phone service. See, without this flashlight here, we really wouldn't have a good view. If you guys could hear that, this flashlight is so powerful it has cooling devices inside of it. And now we are going to be exiting the tunnel, and it's going to become another tight squeeze yet again as we approach the exit here. And there's the tunnel entrance that we just exited. It's a lot bigger on this side. I should have entered on this side. But it's beautiful. You could see the rocks that they laid across the top here as decoration. Now that we're outside of the tunnel, maybe we'll take a look into this other one that we didn't get to go inside because it was too skinny. But we'll take a quick look inside here. I could see deer hoof prints in the dirt beneath me, so apparently deers use this tunnel to navigate to the other side. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, these tunnels are beautiful, and you even have moss growing on this one, making it very magical. And up here you could see the top part of the stream that gently flows down into the tunnel system. And this is one of 4 tunnels we're going to be checking out today. I'm going to have to crawl up this pretty steep incline here to get to the part of the trail we're going to next. I'm going to record the entire time as I go up this elevation just in case I fall. Probably be funny to catch it on tape. Very steep elevation, and we finally made it up to what is the rail trail now. But before the railroad was, stripped out, this was the actual railway known as the Atglin and Susquehanna branch, the same railroad company that built all of these tunnels that we're going to be exploring today. This railroad branch was active from 1906 to 1988. It was permanently closed. We're going to be looking off on the sides of this rail trail for other tunnels because we have 3 more to check out today, and they're going to get bigger and bigger as we do find them. So like many old railroads in America, when they were disbanded, all around America they ripped off the tracks, they put a flat layer of sand, and they made them rail trails. Places people could hike, they could bike, and right here you could see the giant rock facing right above where the old railroad was. And an example like this could be used because in 1981, a giant rock fell off of the face here, rolled itself dead smack middle into the track. Just after 5 o'clock in the morning in 1981, the sun was barely cracking the horizon over there when a freight train that was heading this way, filled with construction material, at the last second saw this giant rock just sitting in the middle of the railway, and a few men were able to jump out of the locomotive and get to safety. Others did not find that safety. Eventually, the freight train hit the rock, smashing the first 14 cars like an accordion, and it spilled toxic chemicals all over the woods, petroleum byproducts, sand, and we're going to be checking out that whole area today where the chemicals are still actually in the woods, as well as remains of the train. And right here you could see evidence of how the rock just deteriorates off of this. You could see where it all fell off, and this is obviously very dangerous. Just thankful that when the train did collide with the rock, it wasn't a passenger car, it was a freight car. Although people did lose their lives, it could have been a lot worse. Before we head back underground, going to admire the little bit of a view we do have here at this viewpoint, admiring the massive Susquehanna River. And it would be very easy to miss this, but if you look closely and you know what you're looking for, we have found a new trail that takes us down and hopefully I'm not going to slip again. I got to really pay attention now. And here we are. We finally made it to our second tunnel. Now I got to watch my step here. This is a huge elevation drop. But here's a view of the entrance of the second tunnel we're going to be going inside of today. Definitely much larger than the first. And as you can see, this does have another stream running through it, with the railroad obviously above us at this moment. Every rock here is very, very slippery. Alright, here we are, navigating this very loud tunnel with an active waterfall going through it. So with no lights on in this tunnel, this is literally what my visual is. It's pitch dark and very slippery. That's why we need this light here. But this is probably the tallest tunnel we're going to be exploring. Another beautiful stone and brick built tunnel with this rapid water flowing in between. So that's where we just came from. You can really see the distance of the tunnel from here. And we finally made it to an active waterfall. And if you could see above me, that's an active railroad track. And this tunnel goes further down into another tunnel. I'm gonna have to get down this like 6-foot slippery drop without falling and breaking my neck here. But very beautiful piece of architecture. You could see how large this tunnel actually is from this area over here. This is very, very dangerous. All this slippery rock. And I'm going to be putting all my gear away so I could properly navigate down this. And here we are at the base of the Susquehanna River. This is exactly why these tunnels were created, to flow all this natural water back to its resource, the river right there. And this is beautiful. You have so many different areas where water is coming out here. And although it is beautiful, it is equally as dangerous with all of this eroded rock from the water here. But this is a beautiful sight. It's got both of these tunnels connected via this water. This is such a rare view in America. Tunnels built like this, they don't really exist. This is the type of stuff you would see in Europe and all over different parts of the world, and you really have to search for it here in America. I'm actually kind of getting the chills right now just because of how beautiful this place is. It's very serene and almost feels otherworldly, like medieval in a way. So right at the base of the tunnel here, following it a bit, we can go to the base of the Susquehanna River over here. You can see all the islands in the middle over there. This area used to be filled with so much Native American life too. Absolutely beautiful views. Susquehanna River is the largest river in the world that is non-navigable, if you guys didn't know that, because of all the rocks present in the river. Big commercial vessels can't really navigate it. And Susquehanna River is the largest river on the east coast of the United States, and arguably the oldest river in the world. So those are some facts for you. This region was also home to so much Native American life. In areas like this where you could see the water run up, you could often find arrowheads and Native American artifacts if you know how to look for them over here on these areas where the water pushes everything aside. But it doesn't look like I found any today. I've been looking a little bit, trying to find arrowheads. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. We still have 2 more tunnels to go through, believe it or not. I'm just taking a break because I had to film so much up and down in that waterway. I'm just thankful I didn't slip this time like I did the first time I tried filming this video. Let's go on and check out some of the other tunnels. On the way to the next tunnel, I don't know if you could see it, but there's 2 people walking away. They were on their way, walking towards me. But as soon as they saw me, they started turning around. And we're actually right above the whole waterfall system that we were just currently going into and around. Over here, you could actually still see the tunnel. It's really sunny today, so it's hard to see. But the next couple of tunnels are along this railway. Hopefully these two people are friendly. I'm gonna put my camera away just in case they have bad intentions and they want to maybe rob me or something. Up here we have a good view of the river and that island over there. There are Native American carvings all over those rocks you see in the distance. You just need a vessel to get over there. One day I do intend on documenting those, but until then, we still have more tunnels to check out. Here we are at the entrance to the third tunnel. We're gonna have to get a little crazy here. Bit of a drop. You can see a tunnel right there. You could see the tunnel up ahead. After climbing this slippery elevation here, we have a bunch of people who dumped a bunch of tires here, like disgusting humans. But other than that, we have our view of the third tunnel here. And this is the tallest of the tunnels. And I could tell you right now, the aroma coming from this tunnel smells like death. It smells like a rotting animal. So I'm probably expecting to see something in there because I know this smell. Yeah, let's go. Oh, this is what's making the smell in here. It looks like a deer got stuck under this branch. You can see all the bones. Yeah, this deer has been here for a while. I could still smell it though. Oh, goodness. This is why you always want to look upstream before you collect water from a water source. You can see the deer's spinal cord right there. You got some of its bones. Yeah, this smells horrible in here. Beautiful fresh air over here. Got some beautiful bright orange mushrooms over here. I think this is chicken of the woods. I'm not entirely sure. Those who are mushroom experts, let me know if this would be fatal or not to eat. Wow, you could see these too. I could tell you these probably are not edible. But I do think these are chicken of the woods. I'm not sure though. This tunnel is very beautiful. And this is the tunnel where the train wreck of 1981 did occur, because I could already see the wreckage from the train wreck that I was mentioning before Oh my goodness, it's everywhere. It's really everywhere. So just to remind you guys, in 1981, early in the morning, about 5 o'clock, the sun was just arriving over the horizon. A freight train was coming down this line when they barely saw in time a giant boulder that rolled itself onto the tracks. Many people of that locomotive were able to jump off into safety. Others didn't. They perished, and the trains that were in the front that smashed the rock all folded basically like an accordion, is how the news report said. And right now, I'm going to show you all the wreckage that is still here. So all through the woods, you could see twisted metal, old lumber, and bits of the freight trains right here. And this is everywhere. You can see all the pieces of metal up here. The old railroad line. There's so much twisted metal over here. The carnage of this wreck was so severe they couldn't even take everything out of the woods. There's even residue on the ground here of the petroleum that spilled out. You could see the little white dots all over the ground. These white dots are a petroleum byproduct, and the rescue crews actually thought that this wreckage had a chance of becoming flammable because of all this petroleum, so they didn't really search the area thoroughly because of that threat. But you could just see the carnage here. So much twisted metal and everything sitting out here for 50 years. The chemical that spewed its way into the water, destroying the ecosystem here. Because all the wreckage flew down into here, right into the natural waterway, and then spewing itself into the Susquehanna River. So much wreckage here. I'm just a small human amongst all this metal right now. Oh, you could actually see like a serial number on this one a little bit. But that's it. You really can't make much out. It's been in the elements out here so long. There's so much rail line just split up. You could just see the carnage. You got to think about how much power it took to have a train just completely crumble like this. All the steel out here in the woods. And there's even more over there. Let's go check that out. Here we have some sort of grate. You can see it. And here's even more of the chemical just still here everywhere. 50 plus years later. Oh, look under this rock. Oh my God, there's so many little particles of chemicals everywhere. This whole area is just destroyed because of it. Here's another sign. You can see it says door. And this wreckage goes all throughout here. We're just going to keep walking around. Such a jam-packed video, exploring tunnels, train wreck sites, and we're not done yet. I'm going to bring you guys to one more location after this. Ooh, I fell. Ooh. So right there at the top of the hill, that's where the rail was. Now it's obviously the rail trail, but you still have wreckage over here, and up here we have a vantage point. You could see a majority of the twisted metal from atop here. There's a giant piece of metal here, and getting up close to the wreckage, more of it. Gotta be careful over here. One wrong step and I'll be falling down a hill of rusted metal and steel. Just trying to get as many views as I can of this train wreck. Whoa! Oh crap! A lot of history to unfold today. I kind of got myself in a situation though. Oh goodness gracious. I'm hugging onto this tree for dear life. Whoa! Alright, I'm putting the camera down. Okay. I really almost fell down this whole mountain if it wasn't for this tree right here. I had to hug it. This is your sign to go hug a tree probably, because it just saved my life. But I'm gonna head up the trail here, and I have one more thing to show you guys, and it's a beautiful train trestle, one that was built when this line was established between 1902 and 1906. But let me get my bearings really quickly and get out of here. So we just crawled our way out of that area there. The wreckage is all to the left, so we gotta assume that this is exactly where the rock fell off of the cliff and landed right smack in the middle of the track. There's not really any evidence of the rock that was here because it got blown to smithereens, but this is where that tragedy in 1981 happened, right here. And there's also some people climbing some rock faces over here, so I'm gonna talk to them and see if they'd let me record, because this is insane what I'm looking at right now. I'll take your word for it. And what you see here is the final edition of today's video. The railway also built this beautifully tall trestle here that goes over the Conestoga River, and it is absolutely colossal, beautiful, and we're able to walk above it and below it. So I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of the views we have from here. But over there we have a hydroelectric dam, and I'm going to walk my way over there to get the best point of view possible. So we have the option of going on top of the train trestle, and I thought that's maybe not that fun. So I'm going to be heading down this trail that I don't even know if I'm supposed to be going down to get a better view of this colossal structure here made entirely out of steel. All this steel. I think we take for granted transportation as humans, because the roadways, the railways, navigation by water, it's some of a human's best inventions. You really consider everything in the grand scheme of things. So here I am at the bottom of a giant colossal steel structure, just me, an itty bitty human. But this is really something to marvel at. Gonna be walking around here because this trail keeps on going, so I'm gonna see how far I can go before I get screamed at. But here we are on the Conestoga River, and this is why the train trestle was built, to go all the way above and keep on navigating along the Susquehanna River. Beautiful scenic ending here, right here in the Susquehanna. I was going to end the video back there on the trestle, but I kept on walking towards the hydroelectric plant, and apparently they do tours here, and you also can basically go right next to it. There's a lot of fishermen, seagulls, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful view here. I'm just trying to get away from the sunset so I can get a good view of the river. Jam-packed day. Just want to tell you guys thank you for joining me on another memory, another journey through old America, old railroad tracks, old train wrecks, and old train tunnels. We did a lot today, and I just want to thank you if you got this far in the video, but we still have a little bit more to see, hopefully. Yeah, fishing area open to public. Doesn't even seem like I should be going over here right now. Now this is a cool view. I didn't even intend to be over here today. You can see all the water coming up from the bottom. That's all water being filtered through the hydroelectric plant right here to my right. You can see inside too. All the windows are open. Alright everybody, that's gonna do it. I tried getting down by the water, but couldn't get down there. Gonna end the video here. It was a jam-packed day, exploring tunnels, exploring old rail lines, seeing old train wrecks, and over here by the hydroelectric plant with these beautiful views of the Susquehanna River the entire day. It was an amazing day, an amazing memory, and I thank you for joining me and staying this long in the video if you did make it this far. If you made it this far in the video, comment hydro, and I know you're a true fan because you guys are all awesome, and I'm sure a lot of you have stayed. And leave me a comment, let me know what you guys thought of this video. Definitely different from every other video on my channel, but I hope the interest is still there because I think that these old tunnels here that we explored today is some of the coolest forgotten hidden history that America has, and I'm going to be looking for more of this in the coming years to document and showcase to the world. So thank you again for joining, and I love you guys. Until next time, peace out and have a good one.